Hello and welcome to episode 48, Roundtable discussion for our Out of the Abyss adventure. I'm Smiley, the DM.
I'm Evan the Great, and I'm playing Grom Whitehammer. I am a paladin monk, hill dwarf, and I have my correct hit points. Inside joke.
Up to 70 of them.
And I'm the Bearded Wonder. I play Travak Whitehammer, fighter/wizard.
And I'm JD playing Notch, and I don't like all the authority coming up in that game.
Authority, it's a lawful evil city. There's rules.
Rules are meant to be broken.
That's right. Rules are made to be broken. Says the lawful good paladin.
Hey. Hey, he said lawful good.
A lot has happened
That
since
beats
the last
lawful
roundtable
stupid.
discussion. We saw the passing of Rodrak, the coming of Notch. Many friends came and left.
Would we call them really friends?
So you were upset by some of their deaths.
I've been upset over nobody's death.
Well, I meant you as a group. Evan has been upset by some of their deaths.
Because I'm a different character since last time.
Well, Broderick would have been upset, I think.
Yes, Broderick would have been terribly upset. But Broderick might have not found out what Notch has found out.
But why has he not found out?
We're going to find out soon.
So, do y'all have any general questions about what all's been going on?
No. I think I have a good idea of what's going on. I think I accidentally stumbled upon what the rod was the other day. I think I have. And it wasn't in the book either, because I wasn't looking through the book. I was looking through something else and seen it, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. I will tell you that later. Because if I'm right, which I don't want you to tell me, I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. But yes, I do, because you said there's 7 parts, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
You see where I'm getting at now?
If you ever read a lot of the old, because the rod's not actually in the book.
Yeah.
If you ever read a lot of the old modules and stuff from like 1st and 2nd edition, you will know exactly what it is.
Yes.
The call phrase that you kept having to say is literally enough to give it away.
Yeah. Well, I was just happy to look through something, and there was some history, and I thought that's it. Accidentally stumbled upon it.
Well, it's actually something we actually discussed at length one day. Right?
Yes, we sure did. Yes, on the phone. Yes, we sure did. And if now I really want it. So yes, I very much want this ride back now, and its other 6 parts. But I know that. Notch doesn't know that. So yeah, I'm very curious. Especially considering what these two have encountered.
Yeah.
And knowing the history of it, they desperately need it. So, some food for thought.
Speaking of what they've encountered, what do you think of? What's the biggest difference between Broderick and Notch so far?
One carries
mechanics.
One carries and one doesn't.
That is very apt. Very
Yes.
accurate.
One puts everybody else in front of him, and the other one puts him in front of everybody else. The one Notch does not accept other people's standards and practices, where Broderick would. Also, Broderick was a brawler, and Notch is a ranged combatant. I will try to keep Notch out of close combat as much as possible. It is not his thing. He's a frail character.
He's a frail little cinnamon bun.
So, one was religious, one is not.
Yes.
One chose religion, one was forced into it. They're literally like complete opposites of each other.
That's what it goes. Like, religion has a lot to do with like the witch hunter lore and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like your character is very much like rejects that aspect of it.
Yes. I do miss playing Broderick though.
Yeah. Broderick was an awesome character.
But I think
I miss my brother.
this part of the game where we're at would not be as interesting if I played Roundtable.
Well, you wouldn't have had to fight on a bridge for one.
Yes. And maybe would not have met some of the people we've met either. So, Broderick probably would have not let the Drow slave have the rod. So we might not ever, we might have not ever went down through the chasm.
Yeah.
And met the crazy Darrow and started a riot.
Let's start a riot.
That's what I was exactly thinking when I said that. So, yeah, totally two different characters.
Grom, you've been going through a lot of stuff since we last had a discussion.
Yes.
What are Grom's current viewpoints of what's going on?
Grom has finally grabbed a hold of something that he thinks puts him in the right path.
Yeah.
He was a very lost character. He still kind of is, but a lot of things have been opening his eyes, and he is on a path of what he believes is righteousness. Does that sum it up correctly?
You had a bull for a minute, and you
I-
go to the next episode.
I forgot how long was it ago?
session.
What level was when we did this last time? I can't remember.
We're like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I did not have a bull, and he does
Four.
have.
We were level 4.
Yeah, I might have been level 5, but
Broderick was level 4. Yeah. You might have been level
Well,
5.
behind the scenes, Grom has actually been playing at one level ahead of everybody else this entire time, and none of us knew it.
Yeah.
spoiler alert, the DM told me to. But
Nobody.
Blame it on the DM.
no, he
I haven't been known to do that though.
he's been very lost, especially since Baldrick died, and he felt lonely. But now he's starting to find friends again, people he thinks he can trust, and he is also had very violent tendencies of late, nightmares.
You're cursed.
There's a lot of things going on in Grom that people don't know, so I keep those in Grom's. He puts them up because he either don't know or he don't want to let nobody know. His bull's awesome.
Was awesome.
His was awesome. Hopefully it will come back, but
What is your bull's name?
Razatar,
Why didn't you not name it Pippin?
because I like Razatar.
It's a bull.
I don't know. I like it.
Scottie Pippen's your favorite
He is.
Bulls player.
I can't mix basketball and D&D. We would dominate it. With the
Come on, we just played with a guy that mixed D&D and Randy Savage.
He did.
You got some of your sports ball in my D&D.
Yeah.
You got some of your D&D in my sports ball.
But anyway, for those who are watching this, also
Well, you know, they say fantasy football is just D&D for sports guys. So.
yes.
Yeah.
Little, I guess, Facebook, what do they call this? Advertisement. If you are interested in anything else that Grom does and you haven't watched our previous episodes, please do so, because I'm a very different spellcaster.
Yeah, you've been promoting that.
He likes to use a holy L to cast things.
He takes the phrase "mead as holy water" very literal.
Yes, literally.
But he is this character was a closed book, and now I'm starting to open the pages.
Gravog, your character's getting a bit more of a definition as we've been going on. Like where before it was a bit everywhere, didn't really have a set thing. And now it's starting to get actual character traits and quirks developed, like it's pursuit of knowledge and detriment to everything else.
Right.
Well, it's something I highly enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Like what all has he been going through lately? I remember we had one conversation where he
Yeah.
filmed Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been kind of a person that looks for knowledge. Obviously, he's a dwarf, he's a wizard, so he enjoys that gaining kind of knowledge, kind of different from, other dwarfs, I guess. And I think Trevok's been going deeper into his search for knowledge since he lost his brother, as a way to, not think about it, kind of push it out of his mind until he gets, time to actually grieve and process it.
You have a friend,
I
a
do.
little 1 foot tall little friend.
Pezio, the Quasit.
Yes.
The bitch.
Which, as I said about Casio, way back when I was still going to this horrid place called school, I played a game called World of Warcraft. And in this game, my first character was a warlock. And his imp pet's name was Pazio. That I named myself. And that's where his name came from.
Right on.
Fun facts, guys. I just always really liked the way that name sounded. I have no idea why.
And now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
The more you know, rainbow.
Oh, I was waiting for somebody to say G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. But you yourself have been experiencing a lot of dreams lately. This way, in the most recent one, you've been directly talked to in them. You were called weak, if I remember right.
Yeah.
What is your opinion on what's been going on in that regard?
I don't know. I figured Trevok just figures he's going a little crazy.
That's fair. Considering that's what's been going on.
Like, none of this really makes a lot of sense what's going on down here. That's not something that happens every day.
No. Since you've joined the group, Notch, and not Broderick, there's actually have not been much of an actual leadership position field. A lot more has been a bit more chaotic, a bit more what do we think should happen, votes and
Votes, yeah.
Democratic.
Yeah.
Well, when Broderick was around, we did vote. We voted to go to Sloopludop.
Yes.
We did.
You voted, but there was a bit more of a clear definition of what had to
Yes.
what be done.
And it also was the logical closest
Yeah.
place. So
I think that's why like the book had put Demogorgon there as well, because they just knew you were going to be there.
so it made a lot of sense.
The book killed Broderick.
Yeah, the book killed Broderick.
So about these murders that's been happening,
Actually, role playing killed Broderick.
what are your opinions to who the actual killer is? I know we had favor for a favor. Jim Joe's body had a knife on it, just various different things.
Well, that's more them than it would be me because I'm
I'm
just
asking
finding
I'm
out
asking
about that.
the
You know?
players, not the your opinions.
I don't know. There for a long time, I thought it was Jim Jar.
Oh yeah.
And now he's dead.
And you still don't know that.
Yeah, and I don't know that. But he said player, not
I
Grom.
just hid that from you guys very well.
So I still think it's Jim Jar.
You still think it's Jim Jar?
Yeah.
Like player wise.
Player wise, no, I don't know who it is now. It's Pasio, and I'm going to kill him. But
Hey, it's possible he wasn't missing that time frame.
Was he even around at the first death?
probably
I
not.
don't think so.
No. But hey, there's demons all over the places. Who's to say?
That's very true.
Yeah, whoever it is a they're very intelligent.
For all we know, Trevok's summon familiar spell just failed, and it just walked up and was like, "Well, now, yes."
Some of them were just supposed to just grab the closest fucking demon they could find.
Broderick thought it was Bubido
Yeah.
until Darendale's little thing went off, and then I was just kind of done with it as Broderick.
Yeah.
As Notch, I don't care.
Yeah.
Especially now that I know. I'm more curious about it now since this whole favor for a favor between me and Bubido's going on. And I don't trust Bubido. And I told you that outside the game. There's two people I don't trust. Bubido's one of them.
Bubido and another individual that you've talked to.
Yes, that I've talked to. And I've questioned them.
I'm not sure if you actually mentioned that in the group or not.
No, I have not. But I have questioned them very heavily in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And tried to point things out. And no one seems to care because that person has stuck around with everybody. So.
Well, that person has also been around longer than you have.
Yes, exactly. Which I understand.
Yeah.
That's more of the intrigue.
I knew it. It's stool.
It is stool. I'm waiting to boil stool in a stew.
You know,
It
every
is.
game, every time I've played Out of the Abyss, like DM'd out of this. The running joke is that fish and shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fish and mushrooms like available if you have to get hungry.
Yeah.
I'm
Fish
big
face.
Sloopludop.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit Sloopludop, they forget about fucking everything.
Now, speaking of Shushar, I think I would have found Shushar interesting as Notch because he's very different than what he was, and how the witch hunter see magic, whatnot. I'd be curious how that came about.
Yeah.
So yeah. The whole murder thing, though, don't bother me. I'm just curious to why Bubido did what he did. And if he knew what he knew, why didn't he tell anybody?
About what's regard, though?
What do you mean?
What he did, what he did.
Okay, well, I found Jim Jar slaughtered.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where because he hit with fireball during the riot, the Darrow riot, and he said a favor for a favor, and I was like, I didn't ask for that. Favor would be me asking you something.
Well, you do favors for people without being asked.
Yeah, but that's not how my guy plays that, though. Favor
Well, I know,
for
yeah,
favor.
I know, but...
And then when I walked into Jim Jar's room and the whole favor for a favor was written there, and I'm like, all right, so there's more to what he wants than what I'm realizing. So I'm just going along with it. Because, for one, it doesn't help me. Not that I know of, no, and I don't care. But now that I've seen what's going on in the chasm, and obviously there's something wrong in the city with the stone giant, there's something he wants that obviously has something to do with what's going on in the city. And I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
Because they've changed kings, the gods are different, something is wrong. And then I've heard their story about Sloopludop. So now the favor is I don't care, and I'm more curious of what he wants. I care less if that's a favor or not.
Is there anything else you would like to ask about or bring up?
Has this whole thing turned out the way you thought it was when we come here?
With exceptions.
What's your exceptions?
I didn't expect you to call the Demogorgon guard a coward at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yeah. But overall, like the inquisitiveness, what's going on, you're not actually going out to look for fights. The riot was like, oh my god.
yeah. Well, you have my backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never really liked the authority. He's
What did authority have to do with the riot?
Oh, that didn't matter. That was me just trying to escape again. Because I just escaped a riot I caused up top. So, I am very curious about this drift globe being cracked now.
Yeah.
I have not forgot about that.
Neither have I.
As somebody with the dark visions, that worries me if that thing blows up. And that's why I'm holding on to it for safekeeping.
Real quick, what is y'all's opinion about what's been going on in Gracklstugh since you got here? Other than you don't care.
Oh no, I do care. And that's when we fought the Darrow and we started realizing there was more worship of Demogorgon going on. I do care.
Grom, this is player talking, and out of Grom, I guess. When we got to Gracklstugh, Stud, yeah. This is more civilized than what he thought it was. And he also sees a place that is maybe used to be strong and now it's in chaos. It literally has two levels of people that are completely different from one another that he's ran into so far. People you can't see. There's a lot of power here, and there's a lot of things that he did not think would be here, be here in the way that they are here. So, yeah, it's a puzzle, and he's going to put it together now.
I think that's a big puzzle. Because to me, my honest opinion is with what's going on right now, and there's this changing of the gods, which we'd found out in Sloopludop, which I've learned of from there. And now that I see this, and my character belonging to a cult of Amadeus at one time, I think the devil god fears that Demogorgon is about to become a god, and that's a threat to him. And I think he wants to end that. I'm curious to how my and then I guess this is something that they really wouldn't know. Well, he knows some of it. Travak does. Is how my pact plays into this, because they are having nightmares. I'm not having nightmares.
You were trying to be given a nightmare.
Yes.
And something consumed it.
Exactly, and it's the nothingness that.
Yes.
And then how the Shadow Blade has stuck around. I have not unsummoned the Shadow Blade, and it's way past its due from being gone.
Because I gave you the mechanics of how that works.
Yes. So, and I think, and then the way it really affected the Stone Giant when I hit it. So that worries me. I'm intrigued about the Demogorgon Asmodeus aspect, but the whole Shadow Blade not having the nightmares like they're having, it's almost like, well, it's like this whole witch hunter thing. It's like a gift and a curse. It's protecting me from what's affecting them, but as a curse, it's something that I don't want. I just have.
Yeah.
So.
And which I told you about how the pack stuff had worked for the witch hunters and why they are so strict about their faith and their packs and stuff.
Well, and it makes me, if we somehow manage to go to the surface, that makes me want to contact them, because if my pact protects me from the madness down here, that would mean it would probably protect everybody that's witch hunter, and we would be more overall effective of taking care of what's going on. So that, or the next time the doll and one of the other two show up, or for all I know they know that, because she said this whole thing intrigues her. So.
And if she did send you on the mist to gather information down.
Yes, and that's what I'm.
Because her original intent when meeting you that day was to bring you back.
Yeah, and now, I don't like that. That means that's longer I'm down here.
Yeah.
So.
She may just be coming in, make you stay down here longer and longer and longer.
Yeah, that's what I think's gonna happen.
Like she'll just send like a random like purple worm to the city, just running for a bit.
Yeah. So.
But Travak, what's your opinion of Gracklstugh, Pursuer of Knowledge, the only one in a D&D game I've been in that actually sought out a library in such a way?
Travak just finds it interesting.
Find it interesting.
And he wants to stop it because he saw what happened to Sloopludop. So he doesn't want that to happen to Gracklstugh.
So you're in favor of saving Gracklstugh?
Oh yeah. Like I said, Travak right now is just throwing himself into different things so he doesn't think about Broderick's death.
So, saying that, would you say that Seraph is your moral compass? Because you were going to leave Grom in a fight, and he was like, he questioned you. When he said that, my first thought was, okay, well maybe Seraph's questioning your loyalty here. And
well, it wasn't so much that. I think that when Sarah said it, it's like Travak was probably used to, like, you know, normal cities where if you get in a fight, probably just get arrested, you know, maybe spend a little jail time. But these, you know, these people are kind of evil, so you might get executed for that here.
If you get arrested in Gracklstugh, there's one of two resolutions: death or enslavement.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to expend the resources on you. If you're useful, you're a slave. If not, you're dead.
Right.
That's my thing. I feel like I'm already a slave. I ain't trying to be a slave for this place. So.
So you want to save the city. You're intrigued, but otherwise just want to get out.
I care less about saving the city. I am more curious of finding out what's wrong with the city than saving it.
So you're intrigued. You don't really care about the outcome of the city. You just want to know what's going on.
Yeah, and if it's my job to stop it, it's my job to stop it. I don't want to deal with that dragon though.
You don't want to deal with the dragon?
Mm-mm. Because I'm not sure why the dragon's here. Which I understand why it's here, but what holds it here? I know a dragon's like treasure, but how do I know it's not magic's?
Well, that's so bad. There's a very mundane reasoning, like in the book, for the dragon, which I just threw the fuck out because I hated it. It's too big to fit through the holes.
Well, that'll work.
But you want to save the city?
More like restore its old
Restore.
ways.
Restore it.
I could see that.
Save
That's
it.
what I was wondering. No, what do you mean by restore? Like,
But they are evil though.
I could tell that this place by looking at it and by looking at the structure. Like I said, it got chaos right now. This place used to be something, and I didn't think I would see that. I thought I would see something lackluster than what the dwarves can do, and actually, I was opposite.
It's a city of steel and iron.
But with you being lawful good, would you want to help them restore their lawful evil city?
Well, it depends on.
Would it not be right to restore what is lost?
I guess it would be
is
right on
Yeah,
your end.
it's not really bad. It's just not good at the same time. But
You need to fix in order to improve it.
but would you restore the city if it became an issue for surface dwarves, though?
probably not. So that's why I said he's reading through his book right now, and he's just kind of letting things flow until he finds out what he wants to do.
Because, I mean, there's a natural order of things
Yeah.
in the universe. Everything's balanced.
Yeah.
But if
Before
you
the game
say
got
one
into it.
thing, that thing can turn against you, too.
So where we last left off, you found out that the old gods, Ladugur, Dwera, Asmodeus, were cast out by the king. And he sort of new god, whom I gave you the name, not sure if you want to call it, because almost immediately after someone said something else was the god.
So, I don't know. My guy's not kept up with any of that.
Well, you weren't there yet.
So, what I'm saying, if my guy's not there, I don't take notes on it. So,
Yeah. No, that's fair. And then the last scene was Notch, guided by a keeper of the flame, busted in and demanded you to come with him instead.
yeah. You see through my magics, my hat of disguise.
Yeah. Best fucking item in the game, I swear to God.
That I'm disguising as something else, though, and Annalise doesn't realize it's hers.
Just here right away. That's my hat.
I'm just borrowing it for an extended amount of time.
So that's all we got for today's roundtable. In 20-ish episodes, we'll meet back with you.